He is looking fine in the studio, isn't he? Welcome to the studio here, Dave Spadaro, with Sal Paolantonio, of course, from ESPN. Looking beautiful, brother.
Well, you know, I try to get dressed up for your show.
Thank you. Sal, of course, is here at the NovaCare Complex. Big game on Sunday night, the Eagles and the Giants. And to me, Sal, talking about this all week, it's kind of a test for the Eagles. It's been an uneven road to 4-1, and don't know what to make of this football team. I think the Giants are a legitimately fine contender in the division.
You know, it's pretty interesting what's going on in the NFC. You have now two divisions where you have three teams over 500, the NFC East and the NFC West, right? So they play one another this year. And so far, if you take the Rams out of the equation, the NFC East is 0-4 against the NFC West. So it's going to be a battle of attrition to try to win this division. Not only are you playing one another, you're playing Cowboys and the Giants, and both the Cowboys and the Giants have righted their ship, specifically on the offensive line.
We think so far. I mean, could this be a mirage at this point?
No. The Cowboys have 3 first-round picks, all playing well on the offensive line. The Giants' offensive line is better than it was the last 2 years, much better. I just covered the game, Falcons against the Giants, where they came back in the second half. They were down 20-10, and they did it with ball control offense with their offensive line. The Eagles have been decimated in their offensive line. But you still have to play the NFC West. You've got to play each other, and you've got to play the NFC West. It's survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
It's survive and advance. We just watched Chip Kelly's press conference. You play each week to win that week,
right.
Whatever it takes.
Right.
People around here want to say, well, it's a soft 4-1. As Phil Simms said on the Showtime show, the Eagles are the most overrated #1 team in the NFC, in the division.
Fine.
Yeah.
Look,
okay.
It's like, and you've been around here long enough, it's very similar to some of those early Andy Reid years when the Eagles won a lot of games, maybe not as convincingly as you wanted to early in the year, but it doesn't matter. I can't even tell you what happened 3 weeks ago in a game. All I know is that the Eagles beat the Colts.
If you remember the Baltimore Ravens when they won the Super Bowl, they lost 3 games in December.
Yeah. So anyway, let's get to this game. Let's talk about this win one game at a time here. This week, Eagles and the Giants. How do the Eagles win this game, Sal?
Well, tell me if D'Amico Ryans is playing in the game.
Yes, he will play in this game.
Okay, if D'Amico Ryans is playing in the game, because it looks like Michael Kendricks probably won't.
Right.
They really need D'Amico Ryans to play in this football game because Andre Williams, the rookie running back, is a bull runner. And they're going to need somebody who can tackle between the tackles. He's not very flashy. He does have some explosiveness, but he will run through first contact. So I'm very impressed with him. I'm very impressed with Odell Beckham Jr. Most of what they do is out of a 3 wide receiver set with 1 back and 1 tight end. And Eli Manning comes to the line of scrimmage, and he still has the pass-run option at the line of scrimmage. If he likes what he sees in the run game, he'll call it. Vice versa. So a lot of what they do from a matchup standpoint is very vanilla, and they'll just try to beat you with their personnel. And they're doing that in the last 3 weeks. They're beating you with their personnel. Odell Beckham Jr., 4 catches in his debut, including the go-ahead touchdown against the Atlanta Falcons. I think it's really incumbent upon this football team, the Eagles, to challenge Victor Cruz and Odell Beckham Jr. Challenge them. Because Ruben Randall's not going to beat you in this football game.
He had 2 touchdowns against the Eagles last year in a game.
He did. But in this particular game, they're going to rely more specifically, I think, on Cruz and Odell Beckham Jr.
And Larry Donnell is also a tough matchup.
In the red zone.
Right, the rookie tight end.
He was shut out last week against Atlanta.
Right. I look at the Eagles' offense. That's where I want to focus right now the last couple of minutes here. Eagles' offense against the Giants' defense. I guess I wasn't that sold on them early in the year. They've gotten a bit healthier. John Beeson, a question mark. DRC, a question mark. Eagles' offense has been up and down. Your take on that matchup?
Well, it's going to be a problem until Evan Mathis and Jason Kelce come back, which is the Monday night game against Carolina.
We hope.
Yep, I think it's still going to be an issue, blocking up front. I think they've just lost their identity as a unit, and they're starting to get their sea legs back. Now, these guys who have subbed on the offensive line, this is now their second full week together. We should see an improvement in blocking. Don't forget, everybody wants to come down on Nick Foles. Please, am I looking at this camera?
Yeah, please.
Please, stop crucifying Nick Foles. Deshaun Jackson's playing in Washington. You've had decimated injuries have decimated your offensive line. As Pat Shurmur said yesterday, teams are playing you differently because the Eagles have different personnel. LaShawn McCoy's off to his slowest start of his career, okay? Has Foles missed some receivers? Yes. But you put everything else into the equation and the fact that he has a bruised left shoulder.
I don't think that's a factor.
I do. I think he's a little bit gun shy and doesn't want to get hit. That's why he's not setting his feet straight on passes. I think he's a little bit gun shy. So that's the one criticism I will have of Nick Foles.
Who wins the game? And how does it go down?
But please stop hammering Foles.
I'm not hammering Foles.
I think it's the whole offense.
You guys are hammering
Not
Foles.
me. Don't look at me. I am a big Foles backer and supporter. I think the Giants are going to win the game. And I rarely pick against the Eagles. I am loath to do it. Why? Like the players, have to walk into the locker room all the time. I live around here. When I pick against the Eagles, it's big news. People want to know. I think the Eagles are going to lose this game. I think the Giants are going to score too many points. I think it's going to be 31-27.
Well, we were so happy to have Sal Paolantonio in the studio. Not so sure right now, but we do thank you very much.
Despite that segment.
This may not ever make the air, but thanks anyway, Sal Paolantonio, for joining us inside the studio.